Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a really big idea, belief. I mean, what does it actually take to have a conviction so deep it becomes a part of who you are? We're going to explore that journey from just, saying the words to having a belief that is truly unshakable.
So let's just dive right in. We're starting with a question that, on the surface, seems pretty simple. But as we're about to see in this incredible dialogue between a teacher and a disciple, it's actually one of the most profound questions we could ever ask ourselves.
Okay, so our story kicks off with a student, and he's making this really confident, super sincere declaration to his teacher. It's this powerful vow of loyalty, right? And let's be honest, many of us have probably said something just like it, making a promise with the absolute best intention.
But whoa, the teacher's response, it's immediate and it is brutal. He just dismisses the vow completely, says it's nothing more than reading words. You can feel the tension right there. He's challenging the student's entire foundation of what belief even is, pretty much saying, your words are empty.
The teacher then gives a name to the problem. He introduces this concept, huko vot tum. It literally means reciting with the mouth, but without the heart or the mind being in it. It's the perfect term for a hollow promise. It really gets at the difference between just repeating a fact and truly deeply understanding it.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. You can't genuinely believe in something you don't really understand. The student vows to trust the teacher, sure, but does he even know what a teacher truly is? He promises to follow a path, but could he define it for you? The point is, you just can't have faith in a total mystery.
To make this point crystal clear, the teacher uses these really strange analogies. He asks the disciple, hey, have you ever eaten liao? Or what about the leg of a tianke, a heavenly chicken? The disciple, of course, is just confused. He has no idea what these things are. And that confusion, that proves the teacher's point perfectly. You cannot believe in, accept, or even want something that is a complete and total unknown to you.
This really clarifies a powerful idea. This isn't about blind faith, not at all. True conviction isn't some leap in the dark. It has to be built on a solid foundation of genuine, firsthand knowing. It's asking you to investigate for yourself, not just to passively accept what you're told.
And this brings us to the most critical turning point in this whole explainer. If just saying the words isn't enough, and if intellectual understanding is basically hollow, then how do you bridge that gap? How do you actually turn a phrase you just recite into a core conviction that you would never, ever betray?
Well, the teacher's answer is pretty radical. It moves us out of the philosophical and straight into the deeply physical. He proposes that the path to real knowledge isn't through thinking more, but through feeling more. It's all about getting beyond the abstract and into direct sensory experience.
The teacher illustrates this with this really visceral thought experiment. He says, to truly understand the principle, do not kill, don't just think about it as a rule. No. Instead, he says, imagine taking a knife and making a tiny cut on your own finger. Really feel that sharp, undeniable sting of pain. And then hold on to that feeling. That specific sensation, he argues, right there, that is the very beginning of real knowledge.
And this is the profound empathy at the absolute heart of the lesson. See, once you create a reference point for pain inside yourself, you can finally understand what it is you're inflicting on others. The rule is no longer just some abstract concept. It's a felt reality you can access anytime you want.
But wait, the idea of consequence goes even further. The teacher explains that through karmic law, the pain you cause doesn't just stop there. Oh no, it comes back to you and it gets multiplied, sometimes by 100, or even as you see here, 10,000 times. So this isn't just about feeling the pain once, it's about understanding the massive, massive ripple effect of your actions. This creates a total transformation. Before this experience, killing is wrong was just an intellectual idea, a hollow vow that you might break when things get tough. But afterward, it becomes embodied knowledge. I have felt what it's like to be cut. And that becomes an unshakable conviction because you know the feeling you would be inflicting on someone else.
So that direct sensory experience, that's the bridge. That's what the teacher means when he says you receive the teaching. You can hear a principle 1,000 times, but you only truly make it your own when you have the feeling that goes with it. That feeling is the proof.
The entire lesson really boils down to this one profound takeaway. True belief isn't some idea you just hold in your mind. It's a feeling in your body that is absolutely impossible to ignore. It becomes your compass.
And so that leaves us with a question to reflect on for ourselves. Take a look at the principles you say you live by. Which ones are just huko vu tam, words you say but without that deep connection?
And which ones? Which ones have you truly felt? Which of your convictions are rooted not just in your mind, but deep down in your very bones? It's a really powerful way to look at our own lives.